Greetings, everyone. This is Jerry Landry, host of the Presidencies Podcast. I've been trying to think the last few days of what I wanted to say, and so I decided to just speak for a moment. This is March 19th, 2020. For those of you who are listening to this contemporarily, you know that the world has changed quite a bit in a short amount of time. Some areas of the world have been dealing with this for a couple of months. Other areas are quite new to it. And I know right now it seems like there are more questions than answers. It's an uncertain time for everyone. I'd like to extend my deepest sympathies to all of you who have suffered during or have lost a loved one to the coronavirus outbreak. Words cannot erase all that you have gone through, but I hope you know that my heart goes out to you as you try to recover. In the short term, the best thing that all of us can do is to try and minimize our contact with others, at least physical contact, and practice some social distancing. We need to seek out other ways to communicate and interact because we're going to need one another, even if we can't be together physically, in the days, weeks, and months to come. I definitely wanted to stress that you're not alone out there, and I have faith we will make it through. What things are going to look like on the other side of this will be for all of us to determine. But in the meantime, we also need to take time to breathe when we can and to pause and be sure that we're practicing some self-care. I know for some people it's easier than others, but please try to take what time you can and reach out to someone you love if you're feeling overwhelmed. There are many challenges ahead, but one of the things that has given me hope is in seeing so many people mobilizing in so many different ways to meet this challenge. I've been very blessed in my life to meet some amazing people and to see what they're doing, how they're coping with this, and how they're trying to help others to cope. It gives me hope and faith that we will find our way through. I also wanted to send a big thank you out to our health professionals, law enforcement officers, emergency responders, utility workers, and grocery store, pharmacy, and food prep workers. Right now, we're leaning on you quite heavily. And I just wanted all of you to know how much you're appreciated by all of us. Now, in terms of the podcast, Presidencies will continue. I'm going to try and stick to the schedule as close as I can. If there are any changes, I'll let you know. I'm also looking at possibly some other opportunities that I can help to facilitate and provide. Again, more information on any of those will come out through social media. On Facebook, you can find me at Presidencies. On Twitter, you can find me at Presidencies89. Or on Instagram, you can find me at Presidencies Podcast, all one word. I do have a special episode that is scheduled to come out this Sunday. It's an interview with an author. We had a great conversation, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with all of you. I hope that it helps to provide some comfort and knowledge, and I'm hoping that this podcast will provide some comfort and insight in the times to come. Thank you all so much for listening. And today, tomorrow, and always, be kind to one another. And take care, dear friends.
This is Peter.
And this is Tom.
We want to tell you guys a little bit about our podcast. Tom and I met in college, became best friends, and then teachers almost 20 years ago. Sometimes school just does not allow us to elaborate on the topics that we find interesting, like the real shark attacks that inspired the movie Jaws, or the real historical context to Indiana Jones artifacts. Where does cereal come from? Or are zombies real? Does Ben Franklin really deserve to be on a $100 bill? On our podcast, just like in our class, there are no stupid questions.
Just two friends having a lighthearted conversation about history, pop culture, and the context of current events.
Listen to History Teachers Talking Podcast from Evergreen Network, anywhere you get your podcasts.